Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So today we're looking at a token that will launch I think in couple of hours. It is called Enso, and it is like launching on pretty big exchanges that includes like Binance, as well as there is going to be Get IO launch, Maxi, even the KuCoin. We have Bybit and we have Bitget. So pretty much all of the biggest exchange will launch this token. So I thought before it comes, why not take a look at it and what the expected price is going to be for this token. We'll just try to do that, and we'll also look at its tokenomics, which is like a really important part of this video. Anyways, let's get started. So first of all, what is this Enso network? So basically, Enso is a unified network that connects all blockchains, empowering developers to build composable applications for millions of users across Web2 and Web3. So basically, it is like I would say interoperability platform. So for example, each individual blockchain framework stores its own like state data, which is not shared with others. So basically, that is where the Enso comes in. So the Enso network stores all the data required for execution and data fetching for each smart contract on each framework. In the above they did give like a pretty good example for the Aave. So Aave is deployed on Ethereum mainnet and not Arbitrum. In that case, the state of data of Aave on Ethereum mainnet is not shared with Aave on the Arbitrum or accessible. So basically, that is where the Enso comes in. And so, for example, Aave is represented as entity in the graph and relevant chain ID. So basically, this is like they are like the unified solution that solve this massive problem that a lot of like apps have. Now if you look at like the ecosystem, they have over 1900 developers. There are like 250 plus protocols. There are like 100 plus apps using Enso, so that's like really big one, and they do mention it. So if you go to the tokenomics section, so if you look at the Enso token, Enso is the native token used within the Enso ecosystem. The token is critical component of the Enso ecosystem, and the network cannot function without the token. So that is something you should know. Now in terms of its supply, so the total token supply at launch is going to be like this is going to be Genesis supply around 100 million, and they have listed here that the max token supply is going to be somewhere around 127.3 million, as you can see here. Annual they are going to have annual inflation. It starts at 8% and gradually decays monthly to 0.35%. So from this I can get that it is like going to have max supply of this 127 million, and so that means after this 100 million allocation, the strikers and the validators will most likely get this like 27 million in the future. That is what I'm getting. Anyways, now the ecosystem gets around 21% of that 100 million. We have foundation getting like 16% of that 100 million, community around like 4%, advisors 1.5, and investors do get over 31 million tokens. So that is a massive supply. And after that we have team getting around 25%. So that means so from this it means that like 56 million of these 100 millions goes towards teams and investors. So that is a massive supply, I would say. But the good thing is that there won't be like any tokens like unlocked for the investors as well as for the team for like 1 year. So I think that's like fair. So that means this token won't have any sell pressure for like 1 year. So that's really good, I would say. So that means at launch, if you look here, it is going to have like supply of 20 million, I think, or 20. So from this graph, I think the initial circulating supply is going to be somewhere around 20 million. It could be lower, but we'll just take 20 million as a baseline. So in terms of its like utility, the token is used for the governance, validation, and we have delegation. I'm not going in depth in those. I think everyone knows that. Anyways, now moving on. So if we look at like its initial server supply, is going to be around 100 million. So that means let's say that like Enso gets like 100 million at launch. So if that happens, that means the price of this token is going to be around $5. I think that is like the baseline that we are looking at. But if it goes like as let's say like 500 million, that means it is going to have like $25 price at launch. So that is massive. Again, I think it will most likely depend on the price that it launches, so or the market cap I mean. So if the market cap is above 100 million, its price is going to be above $5, I think. And if it is below 100 million, I think it will be lower than $5. But as of now, the market is not doing that well. If you look here, overall everything is going down. That does include BTC and everything. So this launch, I think, is going to be, again, I think the token will most likely get a really good surge at launch because it is getting listed on pretty much every big exchange out there. So I think if it goes above 100 million, the price is going to be above $5. If not, the price will be much lower. But again, if it does go as high as 1 billion, that is another case. So the price will be of course above $25, and it could actually end up hitting $50 or even like $60 at launch. So that is a possibility as well. Again, we'll see when it comes out. I will make a follow-up video on it as well when it does come out. But again, as of now, if we just look at overall market, it's not doing that much good. So if you look here, everything seems to be going down. So as of now, I'm expecting that newly launched tokens such as Enso may actually end up tanking a lot. So we'll have to wait and see when it does come out. But again, interesting thing about this token is going to be that if we see like post launch listings, such as let's say that if Coinbase announces a listing, that could be really big one, I would say. And if that does happens, the token may actually end up going as high as 500 million or even above, even higher than that. But again, we'll see what happens. But as of now, if we look at portfolio section on the CoinGecko, there are only like 300 people that have added to their portfolio. But again, they did give out like airdrop, I think, and or you can say coin list, where I think these community could actually sell these tokens. So they will get like 4 million tokens, and they may actually take the profit. So that is going to be a bit rough, I would say, at launch. But again, I think the possibility of Enso going as high as 5 or even above from 5 is definitely there. So we'll see, but I'm expecting a launch above $5. So let's see what happens. But overall, this is how it looks like. Anyways, I think I covered pretty much everything. So now once it comes out, I will make a follow-up video on it and let you know what is happening with the price. Anyways, thanks for watching. I will be back with more things.